Governor DeSantis shakes up the classroom with controversial reforms. Join us.
All right. Governor Ron DeSantis signs a bill reshaping K through 12 education in Florida, emphasizing academic rigor, charter school conversion, say that 3 times, and limiting book challenges, stirring debate over curriculum control. What say you, Joel?
Well, I think this is an actual. It's a good thing when you look at uh, the overall education system that we have right now. Uh, there's been a lot of controversy with these book challenges, and who gives the right to challenge a book if you don't have a kid in school? I mean, sure, you pay taxes, but it's getting out of control where you have individuals that have no kids in school that are taking the time to try to challenge books that should have no challenge whatsoever. Parents that have children in school would never have challenged that book. So yeah, limit them. Say enough is enough. Stop trying to take legislation that we've passed in the prior and manipulate it to your purpose. So that's a good thing. When you take your legislation and you look at it and you say, okay, let's clear it up. Okay, charter schools, no child should be in a failing school. So this really attacks the fact that, it changes the chartering for some of the schools. Let's talk about the fact is that another good thing here is it addresses the Purple Star uh, program, which is for military families. We have 197 schools that hold that distinction, and it's a program that helps military students, students that are transitioning into our schools. They get the opportunity to be college and workforce ready. So there's the parents might be deployed. There's several different things that they might be challenged with deploying all the time. This is a support that is essential. And 38 states actually have this designation, and 8 states have legislation. And since 2021, we have. So I'm proud of that. Now, on the negative side, David, I have to address the fact that we shouldn't have, to be clearing up our legislation. It should have been right the first time.
That's where we agree.
Charter schools, our charter school program. I'm one that I love the freedom to have choice. I want parents to be able to have that. And I liked HR 1 when it was passed. But I also challenge the fact that charter schools need to have that same rigorous requirement that our public schools do, because you can't say, okay, well, they went to a better school when they're not having to meet the same standards. So it's a lot to unpack, I know, but our legislators need to be paying attention. No, you can't treat one school different than another, other than the fact that, yes, if you want to have school choice where a child can go to a Christian school, a Jewish school, a Muslim school, there's certain things you can't do with those schools, but they still should have to meet a certain criteria.
Mm-hmm. I think this is where we agree on many issues that this topic brings up. I'll start with the Purple Star Schools of Distinction. This is great. This is really good, and hopefully it does expand, to more school districts. I agree. military families having that additional support because it is difficult, the traveling, the deployments, so forth and so on. So this, I think, is a no-brainer for the legislature and the governor. In regards to the charter schools, not a big fan of them. I think the charter schools are just a way of siphoning public dollars away from public education. And it just seems like the legislature is always trying to fix the situation, always trying to fix it, trying to fix it, trying to fix it. Um, I'm not, as far as this particular point in trying to fix the long negotiations that happen in trying to convert more charters into the system is something I think that is going to be a ongoing issue here in Florida and never really get resolved.
Well, I think one of the issues, and this is a discussion that I had offline that I want to, we're about facts, not feelings, and
Mm-hmm.
I want more facts on this. But from what I understand, the legislature did a voice vote on whether the actual dollars were going to follow the student,
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed that that we don't have them the legislature accountable for that vote,
Mm.
and they don't follow the student. And
Right.
what that to me means that even if the vote was to have it follow the students, we don't know for sure because we did no electronic vote. And if we're not following this, if the dollars aren't following the student,
Mm-hmm.
what is it to a parent that says, I'm going to homeschool, gets everything set up and says, okay, I'm going to homeschool?
Okay.
The dollars go home. Now you pay your rent and you do all this stuff with the money that just came to your home. And then you say, it's just not working out. I'm going to send them back to public school. Now you send them back to public school. Those dollars don't go to the public school. So the dollars have already been spent.
Right.
And then okay, we're going to go here. So that to me is the question. I'm not got the facts.
Right.
I've got the idea. So I'm going to dig a little deeper, David, because I want somebody to comment. This is why it's so important to get people. Is that what's going on? And if so, how did our legislators allow that to happen? Okay, I'm going to send you to charter school. Okay, well,
Right.
we've already had people in the Democrats don't like the charter schools, but I like charter schools. I like, private schools.
Mm-hmm.
But if the dollars are going to the school and then you test them and say, well, that we don't have the services to take care of your special need, you didn't send them back to public school, or because no other private school is going to take them because the dollars have already been spent, right? They're
Yeah.
already there. So let's address that. Let's take a look at that. I want Tallahassee to give me an answer on that. I will be asking that question because it is interesting.
We sh- we should get school board candidates on the show and specifically have an agenda or topics to specifically address with the school board candidates. And I think on the top of my list would be the charter school system and tax dollars funding those that system,
Yeah.
especially opening up the scholarship program for everyone in the state to use those public tax dollars to go
Well, I
to
mean,
private schools and charter schools.
I'm a big fan of the governor, and the governor did a lot to help the new teachers. And I expected
Mhm.
that once he did that, I said, "Calm down, everybody. I understand the veteran teachers, but they're coming next." Well, next has been a little bit longer than it should have been because I think the fact is, with the governor running for president,
Mhm.
that hasn't happened yet. So we're losing teachers, veteran teachers, because they're getting paid the same amount
Mhm.
as new teachers. So let's uh, let's have a robust look at our education system. I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking. I think this is one of those things that is improving. It's getting better. We need to get it better. We need to get to the finish line.
To speak to the governor running for office, and this goes to my next point in this particular topic, the book bans. And
David, we can't call them book bans, book challenges.
book challenges, book bans is all the same. DeSantis, the legislature, were high on this legislation. They were high on giving the public the ability to challenge certain books.
Parents.
And well,
They fixed it.
the
Parents.
public, no, I'm talking before
I understand.
before the fix was in.
Yeah.
But the public was allowed to challenge, and they still are to some extent, but with limitations now. And this was something I think we did do a show on that, maybe a couple, and we kind of predicted it would have gone haywire, and it did. And but DeSantis was very firm in saying that parents should have the choice, the decision making, and what is being taught to their kids, and then all the woke crap that he was talking about and the culture wars and so forth and so on. But this fix was predictable. The problem was predictable, and now that he's not running for president and he's back doing this job as governor, he's got to resolve this. It didn't work. It didn't propel him to the nomination for president. His challenges, his book bans, his woke wars, his cultural wars.
I don't think that's why he did that. We can argue that one, but I
we
think
knew.
this is what got him elected.
This mess was going to happen.
Yeah, but you have to. Let's go back to when he ran against. When he originally ran against Gillum.
Yeah.
The reason he won, and the reason you can look back and say, hey, there was a strong African American woman vote on the school issue.
Correct. That's correct.
So
that's correct.
I think that you're not getting a change for just running for president. I think that he really, truly maybe read it this way.
So black folks were able to.
So he read it this way,
right.
and now it's being taken. It's been taken by it's been taken by an outside group, Moms for Liberty.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden it's now redefined. So I mean,
yeah,
I'm going to give him.
I'm going to give him
the benefit of the doubt.
It was a jackass.
It was. I got to get into. I got to fix. I got to make these. These fixes in school because that's what got me here, and then it's now
right.
So he gave. You're right, David, in the fact that we don't have the answers. We're not in that secret room.
It's a secret room
now. Well, you got the public room and you got the secret room. I mean, politics is politics.
But it was predictable, and he could have called a special session and say, "Okay, we've got a mess on our hands." When whole bookshelves were being removed and carts of books were being carted out all over, even here in Orange County.
I miss those views. I miss those. I heard. I've seen it.
But I've seen it. I looked at the OCPS, board meetings, and I mean, and it's like, a book about Rosa Parks, about Roberto Clemente, about Frida Kahlo, about the people, events, ideas.
Age appropriate, David.
Well, yeah. I mean, so you take a book out of a class, out of a media center that has K through 8. I know there's junior high and middle schools and stuff like that, but I would think an 8th grader should be able to read a book about Rosa Parks or Roberto Clemente. No?
It depends on which school you're talking about. See, I'm not sure which school it is. If it's not age appropriate, it's not age appropriate.
And then at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of this stuff you could go to a public library, which they're under fire for being a public library, or of course our favorite, you go to the freaking internet, and all of this stuff is available. and then
Well, there's
some.
more legislation we could talk about on that
Exactly,
too.
social media. It's just that what kills me is that the conservatives are always talking about less government, less government. So little government that you could drown it in the bathtub. But then I see this overreach about, okay, challenge books. Okay, you can't, social media is banned for, younglings at under 14. Let the parents decide.
Well, parents are going to decide now.
They are.
So,
Yes, they
David,
are.
I don't know how long we've gone on this episode, but
Too long.
it sounds like we're in agreement on
We're
a
in
lot of
agreement.
stuff.
Yeah, we're in agreement.
This is a fix. You're saying it doesn't go far enough. I'm saying, look,
Especially for the charters.
I think that we're moving forward. Answer some more questions that I have, and we will have school board members. We're going to have a
Yeah.
lot of guests. We're reaching out. We're getting good response. We're hearing back. Please watch our episodes. We have already had Amy Pennick is coming. You'll enjoy that interview. That was school board. She's running for supervisor of elections,
Seminole
so
County.
she went into depth on both. She was very accommodating.
Yeah.
We've had legislative updates so far that are coming to you with David Smith, Representative David Smith, Representative Rachel Plakin, and actually, Representative Carolina Amnesty has sat down. We have Anna Escamani coming in, Banks, and we're doing this for you, our audience. So please tune in, ask your questions. If we don't get those answered in that in the show that you see, they're accessible. We're going to ask those questions. That's my final word, David. This legislation, final word on this is it's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And look, Purple Star schools, let's do that emphasis, but let's also take and make our schools equal across the board.
My final word is I think it's great that there's attention and priority given to the Purple Star Schools of Distinction program. Again, the book challenges, the book bans typically don't work. There's always the internet. I mean, really. Anyway, in charter schools, there's so much work that needs to be done to fix this whole issue. Again, personally, I'm not a fan of it. I am a fan of private schools. If you have the money, you pay for it. I grew up in private schools, full disclosure. However, there's still a lot of work to be done here in our public school system in Florida. And Joel's right. We got a whole bunch of really cool content coming to you. Hopefully that you will watch, you will listen, and please share with everyone. This is great stuff that's coming to you. Share with everyone that you know, because this is what we do, part of what we do, and it's part of being political innovators here at JM Washington. So please share, hit the notification button so you can be reminded when our shows are coming up on your feed. And of course, comment. We love to engage. If you're going to send Bible verses, we'll engage with that too.
Well, David, I don't think we said it enough. You can't make this shit up.
You can't.
Have a great day. Thank you.